Hello, it's Yamato, and I recently attended the WFH World Congress in Malaysia. One of my Congress highlights was meeting so many new people and making so many memories. Also just a trip to Malaysia. Good time. Congress has inspired me to further advocate for haemophilia awareness. You open your eyes to what haemophilia looks like on a global level, and it's inspired me to go to more haemophilia events and just do more for the community. And one thing I'd like to share with all young Australians is to be really grateful for how lucky we do have it here in Australia. Our treatment is free pretty much. We get consistent access to just treatment and medical attention. And there are people in parts of the world that really get not even close to the amount of attention that we do. And I think it's really important that we should be grateful for what we have. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Nicholas, and I attended the World Federation of Haemophilia Congress in Malaysia in 2026. My Congress highlight was listening to all the talks and the lectures from healthcare professionals and people living with bleeding disorders. I really enjoyed all those talks, but I also enjoyed getting to know the people, talking to them, learning more about their stories, and having one-on-one chats with them. I think that was really insightful as well. And going to the Congress has inspired me to continue to learn more about haemophilia and get more involved in my local community, become a bigger part in especially the youth, and just spreading awareness on more about haemophilia, get the word out there a little bit better. If I could take one thing back to young Australians here from the Congress, it would be to not take what we have for granted. What we have in Australia for treatment, in regards to treatment for haemophilia, it's world class. It genuinely is, and I didn't realize that until going to the conference. That has really opened my mind about how lucky we are, and I will never take that for granted as well. And I will try my best to spread awareness to not only young Australians, but people all across the world. I feel like this kind of healthcare that we have in Australia should be, available for everyone. So I really enjoyed my time at Congress, and yeah.
Hello, I'm Louis Baker. I attended WFH World Congress in Malaysia, and one of my Congress highlights was getting to see all the different people from all over the world get together and share ideas and stories. Congress has inspired me to get more involved with my haemophilia youth groups here in Australia. Something from Congress that I like to share with other young Australians is to remember we have it really good here in Australia in terms of medicine and pricing, because the majority of people with bleeding disorders around the world do not have anywhere near as much treatment as we get, and it is usually a lot more expensive.
Hello, my name is Carly. I attended the WFH World Congress 2026. The highlight of my Congress was finding not one, but two people with the same bleeding disorder as mine, which is Glanzmann's thrombocythemia. Our bleeding disorder is 1 in a million. So I think I was very lucky to find two amazing women that share the same experiences and bleeding disorder that I do. One thing that Congress has inspired me to do is to take care of my health more, because of all the healthcare we have at our fingertips, and I know that not many other countries have it as easy and as good as we do.
Hey, I'm Javante, I'm 19, from Newcastle, and I have haemophilia severe A. I just got back from WFH World Congress in Malaysia. One of my Congress highlights was meeting and connecting with other young people with haemophilia, hearing and learning about their stories and how they look at living with haemophilia. It makes you realise pretty quickly you're part of this huge global community and everybody has a different story. Congress inspired me to get more involved within the HFA youth events and camps, connect with more people with bleeding disorders, and aim to go to the next Congress in 2028 with the youth group that I went with this time. Something from the Congress I'd like to share with other young Australians with bleeding disorders is don't let haemophilia shrink your world. And honestly, we're really lucky in Australia. A lot of people are met from different countries where treatment just isn't available, and a lack of access causes long-term damage that often cannot be undone. It made me appreciate what we have here and I think we should make the most out of it.
Hello, I'm Harrison and I attended the WFH World Congress in Malaysia. One of my Congress highlights was meeting so many people from different countries and backgrounds and hearing about their life stories living with bleeding disorders. Congress has inspired me to educate myself on more than just von Willebrands, as the world of bleeding disorders that I know is very little. Something from Congress that I would like to share with young Australians is, don't take the opportunities that we have for granted. When we get injured or have a bleed, the medication that is required for us is already available. Unfortunately, for a lot of the world and the people that we met at Congress, these opportunities don't exist.
Hi, I'm Fraser. I was an attendee to the WFH World Congress in Malaysia. It was really interesting. That's one of my highlights. I've learnt so much, and it's just, I had so many different things which I hadn't considered before. And, it really brought to light a lot of the concerns and different questions I had. And generally, it was a really insightful experience. What it's inspired me to do is I'm probably going to talk a bit more about haemophilia, having some advocacy for different types of bleeding disorders that are under talked about. And in Australia we're pretty lucky because we have all these resources and everything. But in other countries, they're less fortunate, have different health systems, so that can be sort of harder to get specific medication. And yeah, something from the Congress which I wish more younger people in Australia cared about would probably be just to think more about other people who have the condition, and then also understanding that we are very, very lucky with everything we have here, and it's brilliant, and I really enjoyed it and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Deb Aubrey, and I have studied hemophilia A. I attended WFH World Congress in Malaysia, where people from all around the world came together to share ideas, experiences, and new developments in bleeding disorders care. One of my Congress highlights was viewing the unfortunate disparity of socioeconomic classes between different countries and the treatment to bleeding disorders, especially not even just hemophilia, other bleeding disorders such as von Willebrand's disease, etc. In in Australia, I'm very fortunate to have access to such high quality medicines. But in other countries, they may not even have access to the factor, the most essential thing to a person who's a hemophiliac who needs urgent care or has been injured. And the Congress inspired me to become more aware and spreading this awareness and supporting others and helping creating a stronger community for people living with bleeding disorders. Something from Congress that I'd like to share with young Australians is your voice and experiences really matter. By speaking up, supporting each other, and staying connected, we help create a more understanding and more positive difference for future generations with hemophilia.
Hi, I'm Ben Ingalls. I have moderate hemophilia A, and I attended the World Federation Hemophilia World Congress in Malaysia recently. One of my Congress highlights was definitely the emphasis that this year has really put on mental health as being a part of care for people with hemophilia. There were some amazing sessions focusing on how we can better support people with bleeding disorders around the world and at home, and I think that's going to be really important going forward. Congress has inspired me to continue branching out the work that we do at the Haemophilia Foundation Victoria with our youth program, particularly in the areas of mental well-being and sexual well-being. I think there's a lot of information that I can take from conference and bring to the way we support our youth members and empower our youth members to support each other. So I'm really excited to see what we can do with that and what our community members can bring. Something from Congress that I'd like to share with other young Australians is the community that we're building together, both within Australia, from the youth delegates, and globally from the people that we've met from all different countries, and the way that we can help each other learn about the changing landscape of what being a person with a bleeding disorder looks like. It's really exciting, and if you get the opportunity, you should really go. It's an incredible experience. You'll make amazing connections. it's absolutely fantastic.